Umnagwethu is back with a new season, and of course, the host is still Musam Selego. Now, Umnagwethu, this is a show that is set up to condone men cheating on their wives. So, apparently, you're gonna ask or write to Musam Selego to help you. Go and convince your wife to accept wife number 2. Mind you, this wife number 2 is someone that you have been cheating with for probably 5 years or so. It's a show that is there to just oppress women, if I may say. It oppresses so much of women, and it makes sure that women do not have much of a say. One thing about last week's episode is got onto my nerve. And also, I don't understand why these men are out here trusting Musam Selegu with this Sitembu process of theirs when Musa is struggling with Sitembu Sake. We all know, we watched the reality TV show for Tando Sitembu. We know how Musam Selegu is struggling with his own wives. He's just in no position to advise anyone, honestly, and that's just according to my personal opinion. But one thing that annoyed me last week is that women, I don't know, whenever we are in love, we are dumb, we are stupid, and no one can ever tell us anything. So there is this woman, right, or rather there is this man who says that he has been with his first wife for close to 13 years now, and him and his first wife have 2 beautiful girls, right? He therefore says now he wants to take Umamncane, the second wife, because the second wife has gave or has bought a boy child for him, has bear a boy child for him since she has conceived and given birth to a boy child, and him being Zulu and everything, he feels like it's only right to take him, or rather to take to take Umamncane, because Umamncane unomfana. And I'm just like, what on the heck is this? And he's like, in a Zulu way, Umuzi. And Umusa is in agreement with him, mind you. Musa is like, yes, vele in Zulu, you can never build Umuzi whilst you have girls only. And the girl also comes and says the same thing. Is like, yeah, umamkhulu namantombazane kuphela, and therefore mina I have a boy, so I think nje she should accept isithembu based on that, and mina I'm here to ukuthi ngizosala abafana vele. And I'm just like, what nonsense and foolishness this is, okay? We all know ukuthi abantwana, a man is a decider of gender, okay? He may not really be deciding by choice. Nature take course at the end of the day, but a man have X and Y chromosomes, right? Y chromosomes produce male children, X chromosome produce female children, right? So at the end of the day, it's a survival of the fittest sperm. If this man provides strong sperms that carry the X chromosome, so therefore this means he will have many girls, because that's what he provides, that's what he carries. His genes rather make sure that his X sperms are strong, they swim faster and go and fertilize the egg. Whereas if another man provides strong Y chromosome sperms, which means this man will most likely have boys only, because he within his genes, this is what he provides. He provides a strong Y chromosome sperms that are going to swim faster and go and fertilize the egg. So really, it's not up to a man as if like he have a choice. He really does not have a choice, but he's the one who is able to produce something that will determine gender. At the end of the day, it's up to nature. Which one does he provide that's strong? Is his X chromosome more faster, that they swim faster to fertilize the egg, or is his Y chromosome more faster, that they swim faster to provide the egg? Like, you know what, I'm not getting an tempo per se, even though I'm getting an tempo, because I do feel like umnagwethu is just a humiliation ritual for women. However, I feel like one thing that really gets into my nerves, one thing that really gets into me as when a man is gonna say, I want his tempo based on shaming a woman. Like, it's either they shame you that you don't have children, or they shame you that you have girls only. That's totally wrong, okay? Because you now gonna have to feel like you are a problem, and you're gonna have to feel like you're not being loved, you're being tolerated, because, oh, this man does not really like you because, like, you have this huge problem. No, you don't have a problem. He have a problem, not you. You are fine. You're good. Sana, Themba is unappreciative. To say he's unappreciative is not even enough to describe him. So, Pindile threw a birthday party for Uthemba. Do you understand how many men out there want to be celebrated by their women? Because most of the time, women believe that it is a man who must do something for them, many women don't even know how it feels like or how it's like to just buy a gift for a man. And yet Themba received something so bigger and so great and was thrown a birthday party for. This was his day. He was being celebrated by his woman. She organized everything just for him. And also, because they have been fighting, Themba and Pindile, that I understand. But Upindile was like, you know what? I came with divorce papers, and this is going to be Themba's surprise. Because for some reason, one thing that was holding them back in their relationship was the fact that Pindile is not legally divorced. But how Themba behaved in that party, in his birthday party, was uncalled for. And truthfully speaking, Pindile did not deserve it. She did not deserve such an ungrateful man, spoiled man. Like, as soon as his cousin, I'm not sure whether it's Themba's cousin or whoever that guy is, I don't know if I quite remember his name, Lungisani or Lungisi. He came there with so much negativity. He came with a woman and he said, this woman is Themba's birthday gifts. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Themba was legit invited. Themba was invited, or rather Themba's woman threw a birthday party for him. And now you are bringing someone else and you're saying, oh yeah, listen, Bafo, she is your birthday gifts. She is your birthday gifts. Before you know it, there was so much fights in that table. And I was so lost. What exactly were they fighting for? But one thing that I truly, truly did pick up is how ungrateful Themba is. Themba should have stood by Upindile. Should have stood by Upindile in that moment. Especially because Upindile have tried such a beautiful gesture. A beautiful gesture that I know that so many men want out there. But not Uthemba. Themba decided to stick with his cousin brother. And I don't know why his cousin brother have a problem with Upindile, but clearly his cousin brother have a huge problem with Upindile. And this is one of the reasons why they say never discuss your relationship issues with your friends or family, because such things will happen. Now, I don't know, wow, guys, wow. Themba is definitely unappreciative. Like, I am so done. And if there is someone who's watching this and they were to date Themba in the future, I doubt if they will ever think of doing something nice and beautiful for him just to celebrate him, if this is how he behaves whenever he gets to be celebrated. Themba, you were so wrong. And I'm not going to say Pindile is a saint. Probably Upindile nae, she have her own wrongs or she have her own faults, because she's human after all. And maybe she have things that Themba doesn't like, things that she needs to work on. But Themba, specifically on that day, on that night, where it was supposed to be his birthday party, he was out of line. Whatever issues that he had with Upindile, in that moment, he could have calmed himself down, allow himself to go through the birthday party, go back home, address issues that he does not like. Listen, Phindile, I don't like you inviting your sister-in-law in my birthday party, because I felt like that was a thing for him as well, is that the sister-in-law was invited. But he could have went back home and discussed that with Phindile. That, listen, I don't like that you invited your sister-in-law in my birthday party, because really I'm not related to your sister-in-law, this, that, and the other thing. But the way he showed being ungrateful, when Phindile was like, no, I'm going to throw him a birthday party and afterwards I'm going to beg him. Like, that's not happening. That's never going to happen. Not now, and definitely not ever. And I was like, 100%, girl. Like, 100%. Why should you beg him? Like, you just threw him a whole birthday party. As if that's not enough, now you must beg this man to sit on the table. Listen, he was banging table. Phindile ended up breaking down and crying. And I was going to break down and cry. And also, I felt like in that moment, Phindile should have just left, She should have just excused herself, left, And there was a time where also Phindile, like, legit seems like she is begging Uthemba to open her present that she got for him, which was divorce papers. And Uthemba is like, I don't want to say it. Oh my gosh, like, Themba scared me. Like, I was so scared for my life as well, how he behaved over absolutely nothing. Like, I just wish to know what triggered him, what made him to behave the way that he behaved. But really, there was nothing. The only thing is Uthemba. For me, he seems like those guys who satisfy the streets, because now his cousin brother is here, and clearly his cousin brother has expressed ukuthi he have a big solid problem, no Phindile. So now Uthemba is just gonna take along, be like a little puppet, and be like, oh yeah, cousin brother, I also have a huge big problem with this woman. This woman doesn't treat me this, and this woman doesn't treat me that. I'm just like, Yazin Themba, oh, you are Angaz. I don't even want to call you names at this point, but oh, Sana, you are disappointing. You are disappointing. Like, I am so disappointed on you. And yeah, one thing for sure is that I do wish that you and Phindile would part ways, and definitely this relationship will not work. Phindile have children, and yeah, this behavior cannot go on in front of children, unfortunately. And above all, you are so much ungrateful. And I know for a fact that there are actually million men out there who would have loved to be in your position and be celebrated the way that you were celebrated by your women. Sana Nganele, I don't know why Bridget and Themba are still together. But first, I do want to talk about Siti and Tamara. Listen, Siti and Tamara are back for Nganele from Makoti. Are you the one? And I ask myself, why are they back? Okay, apparently they have broken up, and it has been some time since they have broken up. And it is alleged that one of the reasons they broken up, domestic violence was involved. That's left Tamara looking apparently like there was a huge fight between Siti and Tamara. Tamara suspected that Siti was cheating on her with one of her friends. It does seem like they were also intoxicated. Before you know it, a physical fight spilled out of those two, where Tamara felt attacked by Siti, Bianca, who is her sister, and one of her friends. Now they did open a court case against one another, and yes, their relationship is over. We did see them on the show. Seems like they were trying to rehearse things, whereby Siti did not even want to hear it. Okay, according to me, Siti does look like Ipara Unyawupe, very not clean, dirty, untidy. Look like someone who drinks a lot, heavily, probably even doing more than just drinking, honestly, like and but we did also see Usiti having a conversation with his mom, whereby his mom told us that Siti has found a new job, and it is confirmed that one of the child that Siti's baby mama. You all remember from Makoti Ayu the One. I don't know if you still remember, but there was a child that they were still questioning the paternity of the baby's child, if it's Siti's or not. So according to them, that the DNA was done, and yes, the baby is Siti's, and it does look like Siti's mom is staying with both Siti's kids. So she was asking for a washing machine from Usiti. A lot is happening. Nganele follows the couples, what happened after Makoti Ayu the One. Man, I don't know. I don't see any couple getting married from this season at all. Like, I'm sorry, but I do not see marriage here. I'm failing to see marriage. Really, I am. And I'm asking myself, why is Siti and Tamara back? Going to Bridget. That one just stressed me out. Like, I am so stressed right now. Bridget, babe, you stress me out so much, because why is Bridget still with Themba? Why is Bridget still with Themba? So it was discussed on the show that Themba did pay half lobola for Bridget, and they are still going to go back and pay the full lobola. And yeah, but a lot has happened in this too, okay, including Themba actually sleeping with Bridget's sister. I don't know if that was scripted. I feel like it was scripted, because there is no way that Bridget would forgive such a thing and the lobola will go on. Like, there is just no way, you know. But yeah, Themba also mentioned that there are 2 other ladies in his life. And I was just like, what is happening here? So Bridget legit will have to stand for these 2 other women. Like, I don't know. Bridget and Themba just stresses me out so much. It does look like also Themba is living a fast life, partying life. We saw him involved in a car accident, and I'm not saying that it's only people who are living a fast life who could be involved in a car accident. Other people could be involved in a car accident as well. But it does seem like people who are involved in a car, it does seem like his car accident was from a groove. Like, honestly, it does see that the accident that he got, he was back from the groove or going to the groove or whatever the case may be, okay? Yeah, but I honestly don't know why Themba and Bridget are still together. Bridget, ngwanyana waka. Uyang stressa, like the level of anxiety that I get from you, I just can't, you know, I just cannot. And again, we have Themba. Who is Themba's woman? Oh, Sana, completely forgotten her. Is it Pumzile? I don't know, Themba. But Themba and her woman, from the trailer, we definitely do see that it's not going good at all there. We did see that from the first episode that they are together, they are like rekindling. It seems like Themba is going through some financial difficulties. He has to downgrade his place. He's now renting in township, kind of, sort of, you know. So I don't know what's happening in those two's life, okay? And they did discuss that the reason that they are not yet married or lobola has not been paid is because Themba's woman, whom I totally forgot her name, still have to finalize her divorce. So they are still waiting for her to finalize her divorce so that the lobola will proceed. That was my understanding. But I don't know. It seems like a lot is going to be revealed about these 2 couples, because at least they look like one couple who have it together. But seems like we're being deceived, you know. They also don't have their ish together. Sana Nganele is back with season 3. Now, this time around, they are going to feature the cast of Makoti Ayu the One from the previous season. I don't know how I feel. I felt so excited, obviously, from the trailer. What I saw, we're going to be getting the tea. However, the couples that are coming back, especially Bridget and Themba, really, their storyline seems a bit scripted from Makoti Ayu the One. At some point, Themba wanted is Tembu. He wanted to have a second wife. Bridget was not allowing it. And whilst we were just still a bit shaken and taken back by the fact that Utemba might want a second wife, and we were like, Utemba, why did you sign up for this show if really you